What up, everybody? Welcome to the third part of my How to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse. Last time we ended up in Walmart. And one thing I did forget to mention, of course, is a must to pick up, is I'm sure there's probably a few guns left over, and most important, like I said, ammo. Remember, it's worth its weight in gold. Another thing you're going to want to go ahead and get is possibly a bow and arrow set. That way, because it's completely refillable. And one thing you can always do is on your free time and everything like that is you can set up your own range and practice. You could suck at first, but eventually, enough practice, because you're not going to have things like Facebook and Twitter and PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 to keep you occupied. One thing that you could do is practice with a bow and arrow. And like I said, after you're done shooting a zombie, you can always retrieve the arrow if necessary. Now, let's get back to the point at hand. If you find other survivors. Now, at this point in time, you have to think about it. Are you a leader or are you a follower? If you're a follower, well, by all means, and you don't think you can handle living alone, then go ahead and join this group. But remember one thing. All but one of those people in that camp are followers. There are several things that could happen. One, somebody's going to do something extremely stupid. That's going to cost most of the people in that group their lives. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. I'm sure the world hasn't rid itself of stupid people just yet. Not this early on in the zombie apocalypse. But another thing, then you're going to also have the people who are going to rebel. People who are getting sick and tired of the so-called leader making the shots. And you're going to have fights. And then you're going to have to choose sides and all those other things. And then, of course, like I said, you're going to have the leader. Somebody who's going to think they know everything. Okay? If you're a leader and you can get people to follow you, well, go ahead. But then you're going to have a lot of responsibility. You're going to have to make sure these people are fed. You're going to have to make sure that rations are maintained, that the fat people who did manage to survive. Because let me tell you something, another thing I'm going to break in right quick about the fat people. Everybody says rule number one about the zombie apocalypse, how to survive the zombie apocalypse, is cardio. Not true. Not true, okay? I might be fat, but if I got a zombie chasing after me, you ain't seen a fat kid run so fast and so long in your life. I promise you, I might be a fat kid, but I'm quick. I'm not going to go down without a fight, and I'm not, yeah. You'd be surprised how quick I can get up and boogie. And hopefully, these zombies are the kinds that are going through rigor mortis stage, and so they're kind of slow, and they're not those Dawn of the Dead track-running zombies. Because I'm not going to lie, if they're the Dawn of the Dead track running zombies, I'm probably dead. I don't care if you are a track star. I don't think the human race will survive if they're those kind of zombies. Anyway, back to my point in hand before I drifted. After that, you gotta look at these people. And you gotta realize, do you want to be in the crew or do you want to be alone? If you're alone, you got a bigger chance of survival. One, you don't have to share your supplies. Number two, you're not going to care about anybody else. That's another thing about the zombie apocalypse. You have to remember, during this whole time, you're going to lose your humanity. You're going to stop caring about these people. If somebody gets stuck or they get surrounded, you're going to have to learn to let them go. They're zombie food. It's you or them at that point in time. So if you have a big conscience and the person who's really going to hate the fact that somebody's going to die, you need to stay out on your own. I mean, one thing I'm always telling one of my best friends, who's going to be my partner in this zombie apocalypse once I travel my happy butt up to Michigan, I flat out will tell him, if he gets in my way, I will trip him. I definitely will. I will have no remorse whatsoever for any other human being, so you might as well just go ahead and stay out of my way. So then at that point in time, if you decide to go ahead and stay on your own, that's fine. But you're going to have to remember this. Scavenging, scavenging, scavenging. That's what your life is going to be all about from there forward. You're going to run out of food supplies. You're going to run out of water. You're going to run out of basic necessities like shit paper. So you're going to have to definitely go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And have to do all this. Another thing is, if you know where these other survivors hold up, you can start up your own trade. You can bring up your vehicle to them and say, hey, I have some of this. I'll trade you this for that. Another thing that you need to not be so scared of is if you see a fresh dead body that hasn't been bitten. First of all, you see a fresh dead body, don't go around looking on it to see if it's bitten. Just go ahead and shoot it in the head. Then when it's shot in the head and you're for damn sure it's dead, check the body. See what they have on them. You know, they might have a hidden pistol. They might have some ammo. They might have something. Just search the body. Search the areas around there. You know, that's what I say about losing your humanity. Don't think of it as disrespectful. Think about it as they're dead. They're not using it. I swear it's not going to hurt their feelings and they're not going to haunt you over it. Okay, so anything they have, anything that's worth trade value, you know, you're going to want to go ahead and take it. So after all of that is said and done and you decided to be a rogue and maybe possibly be a traitor and stuff like that, you're going to have to start wondering, what sort of things are people going to want? They're going to be people who are going to try to make themselves as high rollers. And they're going to want the nicer things in life. Like, let's say you can go to the liquor store, get them a bottle of vodka. And in return for the bottle of vodka, you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to have ammo. Well, let me tell you what, the richest people out there are going to be the ones with ammo. That's going to practically be what money is all about at that point in time. They're not going to have regular paper money. Okay, so if you want to survive and you want to do all this, make sure that that's how you scavenge. Another thing to survive, if you don't want to do the scavenger's life, is you're going to have to take a trip back to Walmart, or you're going to have to take a trip to Lowe's or something like that, and grab up as many packages of seeds of edible food as you can, and try to go ahead and make your own garden. Now, during the winter, of course, you're going to want to go ahead and have your canned food. Another thing is veggies don't last too long outside of a refrigerator. And if you don't have a generator, if you don't have electricity, which you probably won't after a certain amount of time, they're all going to be dead. Another thing is you could go ahead and become a forager. Now, to become a forager, you're going to want to make sure to take a trip to the library or take a trip to Barnes & Nobles. Okay, we no longer have the internet. So all these books turning into computers and stuff like that, well, you know, we're screwing ourselves at that point in time. When the apocalypse hits, which could be this year, 2012, who knows. So says the Mayans. We're not going to have all that stuff to fall back on. So as long as you can read and you can grab a book, you'll be safe. You want to find out the poisonous plants, the herbal remedies, and you're going to want to find the edible plants. You know, things that are going to help you out. Maybe even some spices to spice up your food for once in a while. But you can go ahead and do that. Learn all you can about gardening. Learn all you can about alchemy and things like that. How to mix herbs to make, you know, some kind of remedy or some kind of potion, we'll say, to, you know, make you feel better if you're sick or whatever. Something herbal. Something to help allergies. Anything to make you a little bit more comfortable. So once you get that all said and done, then you should be perfectly fine. If you can survive off the land, if you can scavenge, if you can shoot, if you can hold yourself up, and if you cannot feel sorry for every stupid person out there and think only for themselves, then I promise you this. You will survive the zombie apocalypse.